I'd like to welcome everyone to the public section of our Townsdale board meeting today. I think everyone knows everybody. Mark, is there any new attendees that just need introductions? I don't think there is, that from what I can see.
Richard, have you been before?
Previously, but yeah, my name's Richard McVitie. I work in the Healthy Spaces team. I'm the development officer in the north of Walsall's Healthy Spaces team, and here deputising for Liz Stuffins.
Welcome, Richard.
And I think Matthew Lloyd's new as well.
Hey, Matthew.
Good morning, everybody. So Matthew Lloyd, I'm one of the project managers in Mark's team. Just going to run you through some Power BI stuff later in the agenda.
Thank you very much, Matt. Okay, moving on to declarations of interest. Other than the standard declarations and the agenda items, are there any other declarations that any of the board members would like to make? Mark, thank you for that. Can I hand back to Jane just to go through the minutes page by page so we can approve them, please?
Yep, just bear with me. And I will share these. Just go up to the top of the page. Sorry, I'm scrolling so quickly to reach the top of it. Okay. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
Roger.
Yep. So scroll down. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3.
You need to stop there now.
Yep,
Stop there
okay,
now,
that's
yeah.
fine, yep.
I've got Kevin's got his hand up. Kevin, do you want to just come in?
Oh yeah, just for the record, it's still got me down as Black Country, LEP, Mercian, I guess other identities and other spaces, but in this particular meeting, the LEP doesn't exist anymore. So
Yeah,
thank you.
We'll correct that.
I'll arrange for that to be taken off.
Cheers.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, so I can't see any hands up, so we'll take those as a true reflection. If somebody could second those for me.
Fine, Manj, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jack. Thank you, Kev. So we'll take this as a true reflection of the meeting, and if we move on to the next agenda item.
Thank you, Chair. I put this on the agenda because I know the board is very keen to promote what we're doing, and Natasha Mann joined us to start leading the charge for that, working alongside Keith, who's also here. And I think there were quite a few notable events. One of the events of note I've listed is the promotion of construction skills through regeneration programme, and that was signing the heads of terms between the college and Walsall Council. And if I could bring maybe James and Jat and Manjit in, because I know you were all there, just to get some reflections on that, and also the open call to the RSLs that we did as well at the same time.
It was a really good event. The sun was shining, and it was really brilliant to showcase really what will be, I'm hoping that it should be finished this week or next week, the fit out. So we're getting there, and as Jack knows, because I've reported in this morning, we're absolutely busting at the seams with students. So if anybody wanted to know whether the business case was needed, just walk down there this morning and you'll understand that it was. So, it was a brilliant showcase. I thought it was it was really good to get yourself, Manjit, there, and Councillor Andrew, and I think we should be very proud of what we've done. I think it has definitely flowed out through those social landlords and the supply chain, because we've obviously put it out through our comms channels as well. So all in all, Mark, I think great, and I think we'll actually see some really good tangible benefits from it.
Brilliant.
Mark, I think to say I know you know this already, but I think I have to say thank you to you and the team at the council, and all the other pieces that have gone to make this work. We're certainly attracting attention, aren't we, James, from central government?
Yeah.
This project, I know it's been tough with the volume and amount of overspend given where inflation sits. but actually we've done this as a really good jointly delivered project, and I think I don't know which politician's going to come down for the opening, but I'm sure you'll have your best tucker on for that day. So I look forward to meeting whoever it is, whoever's in charge at that time. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. Really, really, really positive news for Walsall.
So Mark, what I was going to suggest is I'd like to thank everybody, and obviously Carl leading the Walsall team to make it real. So a big thank you, and I'd like to Carl to sort of say a word around that. And then what I would like to do once Carl said his piece is just to say that it may be worthwhile penciling in a date, because I've really found it beneficial, you know, going to the site, Kevin's site, and seeing actually what are we actually physically doing. Actually walking the path was really beneficial for me.
Yes, Chair. I think that was mentioned at the time when we had the visit by DLUG colleagues to the town centre, and we actually walked the walk and went to see all of the projects and see how they joined up and complemented each other. And some of the key messages that our DLUG, Department for Levelling Up and Housing colleagues came back with was that the fact that it was well thought through came out, the fact that it benefited people through learning, and all of the elements joined up to support that people development and learning piece. And through that, they thought it was a very sustainable approach, because you're investing in people, you're investing in skills, you're investing in your infrastructure, and all of that together, they really liked. And one of the comments, the feedback that we got was that they've been to many places, and some have messages and some don't, and ours had that clear message, and they were really pleased to hear that.
So Carl, have you any comments, Carl, from you before we move on?
Well, just simply in the fact that, you know, it's credit to all involved, particularly the college, particularly the officers. I think the community groups as well, in terms of their involvement, has been exceptional. And I think there's been a real team ethos around the whole thing. It's actually quite nice, because obviously I'm in various circles within construction, and it's nice to point the flag towards the college and what it's doing about the construction skills, which, you know, is a shining beacon, really, quite frankly. And I think with all the right sort of tone and that's been done with it, and everything else with Jat and James and what have you, and Deb, yeah, fantastic. And it's nice something to be able to go away and point to and go, you need to look at this, because this is something really positive, really encouraging, and they're doing some great work. So credit to everybody involved, quite frankly. Thank you.
Mark, can I suggest as a thank you that we write officially to the college to thank the board for supporting their decisions, because I know how, you know, the risk and Jat and the officers supporting that decision, because I know it's not easy. So thank you.
Yeah.
So moving on, Mark, so we've done the review. Shall we talk about can I get Rupert to give us an update on Bloxwich, please?
Thank you, Chair, very much. So since the last town deal board meeting, we've met a couple of occasions. Lastly, on the 22nd of August. I'd be lying if I said that it was a great turnout, but I think that was right smack bang in the middle of holidays. So I hope it's not. It's not too things will be different, and not a lack of interest at all, just clashing of dowries, I'm afraid, and that happens. It also coincided the Saturday with the lowest order week of the year, so that was everybody was on holiday. So quite a lot of basically, we're, you know, as the board, we are presented to and given updates on presentations on the progress that has been made. We had two techie presentations actually on techie initiatives that have been going on, which are going to be, I think, shown to the board later. One is really brilliant way of helping to identify building suppliers in both Bloxwich, Walsall, and the Greater Borough. And that is really following on from something which we as the board requested quite forcibly in the very early stages of ensuring that that particularly in the promotion of construction skills through regeneration program, there was a lot of local sourcing, and that has really been very encouraging, where that's really been taken up and moved along. Brilliant, very easy to use. I think it's got lots of legs I think it's going to give local firms the opportunity to get involved and keep the local expenditure local. Another one is monitoring the projects, and that's going to be presented, I think, later on. So those two were both extremely impressive. Fed updates on active travel, canals, the Green Bloxwich programme, incubation space, digital access centre, and the community capital programme. The active travel, I think work has started on the site for the cycling and walking improvement on Elmore Green Road. Is that right?
Yeah.
That should have started by now. The canal Snade Wharf to Leamore is now open, and now that the schools are back, hopefully work can restart on the Bloxwich towpath. In terms of the others, everything is moving along perfectly satisfactorily. We're all very happy and very impressed. Even Ray Flynn, who wasn't actually unable to attend the meeting, but read it all and sent us an email saying just how impressed he was. So that's all looking very good. We're very impressed. We're very happy with the way everything's moving along. I think if in terms of my summary, that's really, to avoid being repetitious on previous updates, I think I can probably leave it at that. Chair, are you happy with that?
Thank you very much for the update, Rupert. It's good to hear that it's going well. Unless anyone's got any particular questions for Rupert, I will move on to Carl. Okay, Carl, could you give us an update on Walsall and how things are going in Walsall at the moment?
Certainly, thank you, Chair. So I won't get too much on the projects, because obviously we're going to get into the detail of the projects in due course, but pretty much to mirror what Rupert said, good progress across the board in terms of each of the projects and what have you. So the Walsall Advisory Board met on the 17th of August. All the actions, including the risk register updates that were requested at the meeting prior to that, were completed, and so nothing outstanding for the actual group as such in terms of that. The board were introduced to Verto, which is the Power BI platform being used by the project leads to update on the project reports that provide the dashboards for each of the project and key matters such as the risk registers, program activity and progress. So it gives us that visibility live, so to speak, on what's going on and where things are at. A piece of work had been commissioned to map out the local supply chain for the construction companies within the borough to maximise local engagement and use. In agreement with DLUC, the definition has been formed to prioritise people and organisations within the area into 3 categories. So Bloxwich Town Deal geographical footprint, the Walsall Town Deal geographical footprint, and those not within those 2, but still within the borough of Walsall. A business support officer has been appointed to support and develop the platform that was that's demonstrated at the meeting, and will link into the college to maximise the apprenticeships, opportunities and training pathways. So very much a joining up of the stuff that's going on, which is very encouraging. Updates were provided on each of the projects by lead officers and project leads. That was just, as I said, discussed in more detail as the meeting carries on. So I don't want to duplicate there, but again, very good progress on each and good visibility on what's happening. The board will also provide some highlights from the various communications and marketing strategies and activities that have been going on, and demonstrate to the extent of just how much is going on, with many examples of engagement and visibility across the borough and with all the various programmes and projects that are happening. Due to the volume of the content of the Walsall Advisory Board, it was suggested to me as chair by some of the members that we extend the meeting to 1.5 hours, simply because to try and ensure that we got the time to and the consideration being given for questions and understanding, which has been agreed going forward. So I'd like to thank the various parties involved in allowing this, and also at the local level, and also the local community and the organisations have been extremely highly valuable in providing the necessary questions and challenges from their local knowledge, mindsets, and understand, ensure that projects are considering those inputs and concerns as we continue to progress forward. So again, very positive, and more important, I suppose, the buy-in from the communities and the organisations within Walsall. That means that they're feeling very much part of it, which I think is very, very important indeed. And then finally, just the next meeting's been arranged for the 26th of September. So from an update point of view on the Vice Board, I think that's kind of where I'd like to finish, if that's okay, Chair.
Thank you, Carl, for the update. So good to hear again, Walsall, going forward. If there's no questions for Carl, I will come on to next meeting. So can't see any hands. So Jane, could you stop the recording after I've mentioned the date of our next meeting? It'll be the 11th of October 2023, public meeting at 2:30. Okay. Let me know when it's stopped, Jane.